Hey, what's up, guys? This is a little bit different content for me, I guess. I just kind of wanted to make a quick video because I realized that, like, back in September, the beginning of September, I made a post on my story about how I was in the hospital and all that, and I never really like updated people on what was going on. Maybe a handful of people that I talk to regularly, but a lot of you guys have been recently asking me how my health is going, especially since I've been posting a lot more like gym stuff on my stories. And I appreciate, people reaching out. I mean, that means a lot to me that you guys care. One day, like I said, it was in early September, and I noticed I was feeling kind of weird, No, I was getting like numbness in my arm and just overall feeling not right. I just felt like something was wrong. I'm not the kind of person really that goes to the doctor unless I like have to. And it kept getting actually worse. I had that particular day, I had like 3 different spells where my arm was tingling like really bad, a lot of numbness. Just, it really freaked me out is what I'm trying to get at. And I never really experienced anything like that before. So, in my brain, the first thing I went to was a heart attack or something like that. But basically, I was just trying to ignore it. Ignore it, it'll go away. But the thing is that it didn't go away. It actually just kept getting worse. I let that go on for 3 days. I felt like that. I was just really going through it. I just laid in bed for 3 days. I didn't know what to do because it wasn't stopping. So the only logical thing was to go find out what happened. I went to the emergency room and they, obviously ran tests on me and all that. They did I'm trying to remember everything that they did that day. I thought it was like a chest x-ray and blood work and all that kind of stuff. And at the end of it, they basically were like, oh, your labs look great, everything looks fine. We can't really figure out what caused the symptoms that you were feeling. And I was like, well, that's good, everything looks good, the doctor said, so I must be fine, right? Like, cool. So, well, at the time, I did not have a primary care doctor because that's not, like I said, I don't go to the doctor, but Brittany, my fiance, she has a doctor that we both like, that she goes to. So I ended up going to her, and she ran blood work on me again, a little bit more extensive blood work than what the hospital did. They determined that I had not just high cholesterol, but extremely high cholesterol, to the point that they thought that I needed to be checked for, what is it called? Hypocholesterolemia is what it's called. She was telling me that whenever your numbers are as high as mine were, that it's pretty much a given that you've got the familial gene or whatever. That was crazy to find out. Not to mention, I was 260 pounds at my heaviest, and which is just crazy to think about. All the lifestyle changes and things, I've gotten down to 212 pounds now, which is where I'm at now. But she wants me to get down to 185. So part of that journey was a big lifestyle change. Getting labs run every 6 months for the rest of my life to keep an eye on that. I feel like I'm forgetting some stuff. So whenever I got the news about that, she wanted me to go do a heart scan. Basically, it's like an MRI. Basically, they are a CAT scan or something. They put you in the tube, and put you through there and to look at your heart, to give me a calcium score, which is basically the amount of plaque that you have in your arteries, right? That test came back showing that I do have a small blockage in my widowmaker artery, they call it, which is scary enough, right? Like, you hear widowmaker, that's like, you know, and you got to figure, you know, I'm not somebody that goes to the doctor, so hearing words like widowmaker, blockage in your arteries, high cholesterol, you know, familial gene, all these things, like, to me sound crazy, because like I've never had really any, you know, I've got some kidney stuff that I deal with, but other than that, like, I don't really go to the doctor. So with all that being said, I'm making spaghetti, by the way, cutting up all my vegetables for my dinner. I do my spaghetti a little bit different than probably most people. I put bell peppers and jalapenos in it, and onion. Sorry, if you don't put jalapeno in your spaghetti, you're messing up. It's good. But anyway, so with all that being said, she told me, you know, basically, if your cholesterol stays this high for an extended amount of time, you know, 10 years or so, your chances of a heart attack or stroke increase like dramatically, right? But I was like, well, I don't know how long it's been this high. I don't know what my cholesterol was a year ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. But I did end up finding blood work from 2018 that I did that showed that my cholesterol was extremely high then too. But I did not know that because they didn't tell me that at the doctor's office. They didn't mention it to me. And I guess it's because that's not what I was there for. And luckily I just happened to find that paperwork. And so I'm gonna have to show that to my doctor next month when I go back to get my follow-up stuff done. Can't believe it's already almost been 6 months, but I'm down like close to 50 pounds or right at 50 pounds, something like that. She told me that you have to make lifestyle changes. You got to change your diet. You got to quit drinking. You got to quit doing everything else that you're not supposed to be doing. Pretty much that's what I did. You know, she told me I can't have red meat anymore. I can, but it's like on basically like once in a blue moon, like once a year, twice a year kind of thing. Like I can do it, but I'm like, at this point, I don't even know if it's worth it. She also said, you know, 5 days a week I have to go to the gym, but I haven't been able to do that. I've only really been doing it for 3 to 4 days a week. 4 days a week most of the time. I'm not somebody that really ever went to the gym that much. I mean, obviously I've gone to the gym in my life and stuff, but like as far as being consistent with it, it's just not something that I've ever really stuck with. It's just kind of like one of those, I'd get a gym membership and go a few times and be consistent for a couple months, and then I'd fall back off of it. And I will say, you know, I feel a lot better, much better than I did prior to all this. I mean, I knew that I needed to start losing some weight because a lot of people really don't believe me that I was 260 pounds. They say, like, you know, I carried the weight well, but I felt it. I felt it. Trust me, I felt really bad most of the time. And just looking back on the pictures of myself at that point, and a lot of you guys that have followed me for a long time, you know, I used to post a lot more pictures of myself and stuff, but I kind of quit doing that. Just because I didn't really like how I looked. I was overweight. I just looked bad. I didn't look good. I still don't really feel as though I look good, but I appreciate all you guys that have reached out to me, asking me about how I'm doing health-wise and all that. It does mean a lot. Sorry that I've kind of left a lot of people hanging. I don't know if I've really thoroughly explained it that well in this video, but I just wanted to give some kind of an update. Like, I'm doing okay. I'm just sticking to my regimen. Eating is boring. I try to make it as good as I can. You know, I can't have a lot of salt, so I had to switch to, you know, like light salt and, you know, that kind of stuff, which is, you know, and I've kind of like been eating the same stuff every day. Like I eat my overnight oats like pretty much every single day. Kind of rotate chicken, fish, and turkey. That's kind of it, you know. Like I figured out how to make a healthier version of spaghetti with, you know, gluten-free noodles and just a bunch of vegetables. I just try to load it up with vegetables as much as I can. I'm not like a huge vegetable person, but I do like asparagus and onions, bell peppers, jalapenos, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm just not really, I don't know, like, I do like Brussels sprouts and stuff. I'm just really bad about eating. It's not necessarily that I don't like it. I'm not good at it. It's definitely been a journey, and it's not a fun, exciting way to eat, because I've kind of always been a foodie. You know, I've always, like, if we were going on vacation or going somewhere, like, you know, we were always like looking at places that we could eat. You know, we kind of did a lot of restaurant eating and eating out a lot. And that's another thing. Part of how I gained as much weight as I did is because, you know, I was eating out so much. It was just convenient. I like to cook, but I don't know. I go through spells where, like, I don't feel like cooking at all. So I just, like, wouldn't. Eventually, it just catches up to you, you know. I would say, you know, my advice to especially guys that are, you know, close to 40 or getting close to being 40 or even over 40. As soon as it was like right before I turned 40, I got hit with, and I've never dealt with like major health stuff before, you know, so it was pretty scary, not gonna lie. And I'm still scared, you know, like I gotta go in March, I gotta go and do my follow-ups with my labs to see if what I'm even doing right now is working or not. Because the problem is with the condition that I've got, the high cholesterol in your blood creates plaque in your heart. And that's what I've got going on. So I want to say it's 80 or 90% more plaque in my arteries than most people my age. So, you know, take my advice that I was trying to make is just go get checked out, man. Get some blood work. I don't like it. I'm hypocritical in this because I'm the first one that'll tell you I don't go to the doctor. But, you know, if you want to live a long life, or, you know, a longer life than what you're going to, if you don't, you know, figure out what's going on with you, go get checked out, man. And there's still stuff that I want to get checked out. Like I didn't have to, I voluntarily did a kidney scan because, you know, my dad died of kidney cancer whenever I was 20. He was 49. I'm 40. I just turned 40 in September. So, you know, he was only 9 years older than me, than I am right now when he passed away from kidney cancer. So I don't want to be in that position, you know. It's something I've been scared of my whole life ever since that happened, you know. Like I never, you know, expected my dad to pass away of cancer at that young of an age. And I remember when that happened, I told myself, you know, I'm not going to let this is not going to happen to me. I'm going to take care of myself, Well, I didn't. As a matter of fact, I was kind of like on a self-destructive pattern for the next 20 years after that. You know, partying and drinking. I think that's how I dealt with that loss. Was just, I mean, I was 20 when it happened, right? So like I turned 21, started partying, you know. That's whenever I started playing, you know, a lot of shows and really getting into the music scene and all the things that comes along with that. And I just didn't take care of myself, you know. That's it. It's the bottom line. Really, to wrap this up, it was kind of a blessing in disguise, really. Like, I'm still a long way away from where I need to be, but at least I have a better idea what's going on with my body. And if anything, I just hope that you know, if this video can help one of you guys like go and get your blood work done and get seen by a doctor, because as I don't know if it's just men or men in my age bracket or the generation that I come from, or I don't know, but we're just not, we don't go to the doctor, you know, for anything. So that's it, man. I just want to, hopefully, you know, you guys will take care of yourself, and that's it.